What's good, YouTube fam? What up? What up? I'm about to turn my mic on here in a minute here. I mean my camera. How y'all doing today, man? Look, I'm about to just get right into it. I'm coming on here for educational purposes only. I'm coming here today to discuss how to remove child support from your credit report and how to get it dismissed. If you have a pending case, how to go ahead and get that removed. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time because I got things to do today. But something in my spirit told me I just need to come on camera and drop this jewel. I'm always coming on online giving y'all game. So here I am again, about to give y'all some more game before I get off into my rest of my business this morning. Yeah. So I'm about to wait just a few more minutes here, a minute or two. If not, really just wait for some more people to come into the room. But I'm about to just get it started. We about to just get it started. What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? We about to get it started, yo. We ain't about to even waste no time. I'm about to get right to it. Look, this is for educational purposes only, and this video is for those that really need this information, that really want to apply the knowledge that I'm dropping and delivering here today. So I'm about to just get right into it. I got my notes here right in front of me. Let's get into it, yo. This is how to remove child support from your credit report and also to dismiss your case. Let's take a walk. So for the credit report removal, um, first, if your child support is showing up as a debt on your credit report, here's what you need to use. Meaning, you can use this in the form of a dispute letter. Okay, these are the laws you want to use in your dispute letter. So, based on the Fair Credit Reporting Act, aka FCRA, Title 15 USC, subsection 1681, any item reported must be accurate, verifiable, and from a valid consumer debt. But here's the truth: child support is a court ordered obligation, not a consumer credit account. So you challenge it by sending a dispute letter to the credit bureaus citing this. These are the laws you want to use. FCRA Title 15, subsection 1681, 2A, 1A, inaccurate reporting. You also want to use FACTA Act, Section 312, duty to investigate and correct errors. They must investigate and correct the errors. Here you go, Metro 2 compliance. Child support doesn't meet standard reporting format. If they can't verify it under the federal consumer standards, they have to delete it. Part 2, this is for your case dismissal. This is for the due process violation, meaning this is a constitutional violations we were talking about. Now, if your child support order was entered without full due process, meaning you have grounds for dismissal. Here's what you need to cite: U.S. Constitution, Fifth and 14th Amendments. No person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. So ask yourself this: did you receive proper notice? Was a hearing held where you could defend yourself? Where you provided counsel if the state was represented? If not, that's a due process violation. Here's a case law you can also incorporate into your disputes. Goldberg versus Kelly, 1970. Entitlement to due process before government can take a benefit. They must give you your due process of liberty before they proceed with anything. If they violate it, it's over. But you must raise the awareness. You must bring the action. Case 2. uh, Forgive me if I butcher the name here because I'm probably gonna butcher it. Morrissey versus Brewer, 1972. Right to notice and hearing. You have a right to notice and hearing. They must give you a notice and they must provide a hearing. Or you can give them notice and they must provide you with a hearing. Third case is Bodie versus Connecticut, 1971. Access to the court cannot be denied without due process. I want to get a little bit more into the due process because a lot of people don't understand what due process really is. It's the steps that they are required to take, but also must give you your liberty before they proceed with any of their actions. So, meaning they have rules they need to follow. So, if they write up a presentment, a charging instrument towards you, okay, there's rules, there's regulations, there's statutes they must follow in order to put this document together. There must be an affidavit attached to it. It must be court signatures, a judge's signature, wet ink signature. But the affidavit of truth that's attached to that complaint is everything because somebody's making a claim against you. They're claiming that you did this under oath, but they don't have that for educational purposes only. So let's keep going. So after those case laws here, this is what you want to do. You want to file a motion to vacate or dismiss based on constitutional violations, lack of notice, improper service, and violation of your Fifth and 14th Amendment rights. Always include your constitutional claim on the record. So let's go back. Let's take a step back here. The U.S. Constitution, your Fifth and 14th Amendments. No person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. Again, did you receive proper notice? Was a hearing held where you could defend yourself? Where you provided counsel if the state was represented? These are keys to getting this out the way. These are keys. These are keys, yo. Hold up. So again, I'm gonna just take a step back. Let's go back to the credit report here. Child support is not a consumer debt. It doesn't originate from a loan, credit card, or service agreement. That means it should not be on your credit report under the Fair Credit Reporting Act. And you can all do your own research on what I'm saying here because the Fair Credit Reporting Act has all of this listed on their website. Um, so let's go again. This is the law you can cite in your disputes. Okay, FCRA Title 15 USC subsection 1681AC defines a consumer report as related to credit transactions initiated by the consumer. Child support isn't one, y'all. Child support isn't one. Let's go to the other one. Here's another law you can cite from the FCRA subsection 1681 2A 1A. Furnishers of information must report accurate, complete, and verifiable information. Yes, they must do that. It's a must. It's a must. They must follow the rules. You must know the rules, and you must make sure they're following the rules. Because if they don't follow the rules, then you have grounds for what? A suit. A suit that you can win. Yes, absolutely. Step two. File a dispute with all three credit bureaus. Include include in your letter you will want to provide your full name, address, social security number, a copy of your ID, and or a utility bill if needed. A lot of times they don't, but they already have your information. Once they take the last four digits of your social, your information gonna come up. But do what you must. Okay? A statement like this, within that within the dispute, you want to put this here within your dispute letter. This account, you want to provide the child support agency name and account number, does not meet the definition of a consumer debt under 15 USC subsection 1681A. It is not verifiable under Metro 2 standards and does not meet the reporting criteria required under the FCRA subsection 1681. 2. Please delete this unverifiable item from my report. That's simple. That's your letter. It could be just like that. It's not even. a paragraph. And you want to mail this to Equifax, Experian, TransUnion, okay? Number three, demand verification from the furniture, the agency. Say, send a similar letter to the State Child Support Enforcement Agency under this title. Title 15, USC, subsection 1681, 2B. Duty to investigate after notice of dispute. If they can't provide Metro 2 complaint verifications, or if the data is outdated or incorrect, they must delete it. They must delete it, y'all. It gotta go. It gotta go. I'm for educational purposes. I'm here today. I'm showing y'all how to remove child support from your credit report for free on your own. Okay. And also to get it dismissed. It's a violation due process. Your child is your property. No state or entity or any other foreigner can come into your business and tell you what to do with your child. They can't do it, but they do because the average civilian do not understand their rights, and they get away with this every day. So I'm here today. I'm laying down the jewels for you. I'm dropping all the game here live. So let's continue on for educational purposes only. How to get your child support case dismissed using constitutional law. The U.S. Constitution guarantees you due process under the 5th and 14th Amendments. If your child support was issued without proper legal steps, you may have grounds to vacate or dismiss. Cite these laws. Fourth Amendment states what? No state shall deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. Fifth Amendment, due process clause at the federal level. So ask yourself this: were you properly served with notice? Were you given a hearing? Did you have a chance to present a defense? Did the state have an attorney, but you didn't? Come on now. Talk about being fair. Were default orders entered without you ever knowing? Happens all the time, right? Step two. Here's some powerful case laws. Again, it's the same ones, but I'm giving to you again. The Goldberg versus Kelly 1970 case. Due process is required before terminating or termination of government benefits. Morrissey versus Brewer 1972. You must be given notice and an opportunity, excuse me, you must be given a notice and an opportunity to be heard. It got to be fair. They got to make it fair for you. It got to be fair. Bodie versus Connecticut, 1971. Government cannot restrict access to courts without full due process. They do it all the time, but you must be alert of what's going on. They must award you. They must give you. They must provide due process of law, meaning they must follow the rules. They must make sure they don't violate your liberty or your rights. But if they do, you have to speak up. You have to drop a notice in there. You have to stand up for yourself. Nobody knows what's going on unless you scream for help. So you must stand up for yourself. This is what this is all about. Being a man, standing up for yourself, picking up your britches, however, your bootstraps or whatever, and being a man. Represent yourself. You're being tested in life. I think all things is a test for real, whether we like it or not. And I think child support is a real test of a man's spirit and due diligence to get things resolved. But I think a lot of women test a lot of man masculinity um, by pushing it. But that's a whole different story because some men just, that's a whole different discussion here. I get into that different. We can do a different video on all that crazy stuff. But right now I'm just showing y'all how to navigate through the system properly. It's important that you navigate, or you're going to be walking through life saying, "Oh, they're being racist. I'm being raped, and I'm paying money, and I pay my child support, and all of this stuff is a violation against your property." What is your property? Your child. Your child is your creation. Your child is made in the likeness of you. Your child is made in your image. That's your DNA. That's your creation. You're God. You're the goddesses. Nobody can regulate that unless you allow them to. Let's keep it going though. Let's go. Step three, you want to file a motion to vacate or dismiss. If any of your rights were violated, you can file a motion to vacate judgment or motion to dismiss for lack of jurisdiction. In your motion, you want to include this: a clear statement of the constitutional violations. Okay. Two, lack of proper notice if they didn't give you notice. Three, denial of due process. Okay. Four, improper service, meaning no proof of service equals no jurisdiction, meaning they have certified mail. If they sending you something, you might need to sign for it, or they be, what I'm saying, need to be registered that it got to you. A lot of times they don't be doing that. A lot of times they don't have proof of that, and you can challenge them. That's part of due process. Every man must be awarded a notice. They must give you notice before they do anything. It got to be fair. How can you defend yourself against something you don't know what's coming? Listen to what I'm saying here. Okay. Five, any fraud or coercion used in signing documents. Did they threaten you into signing this document and saying that, hey, I'm gonna pay child support? What did they tell you? You could face jail time, right? That's part of threatening. That's part of kidnapping. You can face jail time. We'll come get you. We can issue a warrant. The fees will go up. This is part of threats. They're threatening you. They for real about it, but it's a threat. You need to recognize what's going on. Okay, you can use the state and federal rules. State civil procedure rules. Look up your state rules for motions to vacate or to modify. You're playing within the mounds. You're playing within the rules, and you're playing to win. Every state have rules that they must follow. Look it up. Look it up. Here's an example. You can use, once again, go back to the FRCP rule 60B, federal rule for relief from judgment due to mistake, fraud, or lack of notice. So your rule 60B is a motion. This is a motion. FRCP rule, that's a motion. 60B, that's a motion. So you want a motion for relief from judgment due to mistake, fraud, or lack of notice. Yes. Example: pursuant to Rule 60B and the 14th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, I respectfully move to vacate the child support order dated on such and such date due to the lack of jurisdiction and denial of due process. I was not properly served and had no opportunity to be heard before the order was entered. You can motion, you can schedule a hearing for your court case at any time. They got to give it to you. They gotta give it to you, yo. They gotta give it to you. They gotta give it to you. Let's keep it going. You want to document everything: certified mail, hearing transcripts, service logs. Get the court record. That helps out too. Many child support orders are entered administratively without real judicial process. Get a copy for your knowledge so you can see what's going on. I'm telling you, there's rules to it. So when you look at this document, there's rules that they must follow before they come get you or to stick you with something. Okay? Don't speak emotionally in court. Speak legally. Speak intelligently. Speak slowly. If you don't understand something, I say it. I don't understand. Say it for the record. Okay? Here's a power tip. You have the right to challenge jurisdiction at any time. If they have never had it, they never had it. It doesn't matter if it's been 10 years. It doesn't matter if it's been 10 seconds. You can challenge jurisdiction at any time. You can challenge subject matter jurisdiction, personal matter jurisdiction, territorial matter jurisdiction. They must prove that they have authority over you. They must prove that they have authority over your estate. They must prove that they have authority over your property. They must prove that they are in the United States doing what they're doing. Me personally, I hit them with a core warrant though. I need to see your authority, Mr. Prosecutor. I need to see some credentials before we can proceed. And I'm going to run my own administrative process on you, sir. My first notice to you is going to be a core warrant though. Show me your authority. Show me your license. Show me your foreign registration act. Provide me your bond. Let me see your driver's license. Let me see your state ID. Give me your address. I can demand for these things, and if I don't have them in a timely fashion, then I'm going to sue you. I'm going to sue you for trespass. I'm going to sue you for faking an identity that's not really you. Because when I issue a court warrant, though, that's my affidavit. That's my contract to you. Because if you don't provide these things to me, you're stating that, hey, I'm operating illegally. I'm right. I am a foreigner, which they are for educational purposes. If you do not rebut the paperwork, then you agree. Silence is acquiescence. So you agree by default. By not rebutting or responding at all, you agree that my paperwork is correct, that everything I've listed on this paperwork is right. Now you're locked into the contract. Now, what are we going to do here? Because you can't do nothing no more besides try to settle with me because I'm going all the way with it. Besides, settle with me or to let this shit go. However you want to do it. But if I go all the way, I'm winning. So your best bet either to let it go or to settle with me. That's how I operate. And you got to move with authority because your children is your property. Your children is counting on you to be a man, to represent yourself, and to stand up. You got to stand up, yo. You got to stand up. So I just really just wanted to come on alive here today and really just go over that a little bit there on how to not only remove it from your credit report, but also getting that dismissed. Yeah. A lot of men are suffering due to lack of knowledge. You're suffering because you refuse to want to learn something new. You're suffering because you fear something that can't kill you. Your fear is costing you your life, your sanity. You're fearing the courts, but the court is your salvation. You want to get out the system, but you got to go through it. You already in the stomach. You got to finish going through. That's why I'm here. I do what I do for a reason. I do exactly what I do here for a reason. Too many people are out here suffering due to the lack of knowledge. You're paying all this money. You taking medication because I can't get my life together. I'm paying this child support and I got the course that's on me and blah blah blah. Bro, you're simply suffering from the lack of knowledge. There's rules to this. So when I'm telling you the rules is the courts, these agencies must follow a format. They must follow federal rules. If they don't follow the rules, you as the consumer, as the civilian, as the living being, need to say something, need to stand up for your rights and liberty and put these people on notice. Need to let these people know, hey, I am going to sue you. I will sue you. I know how to sue you. Suing somebody is not hard. When I tell people, hey, you need to write up a claim, they be looking at me like, what the fuck are you talking? What is a claim? In layman's terms, all I'm just saying is you're bringing charges against the individual that's trespassing against you. A claim, complaint, all this shit is a form of bringing charges against somebody. That's all it is. So when I say you need to file a claim, I'm saying you need to file charges. I'm saying you need to file charges. When somebody do you wrong, when one of these agencies or these one of these actors out here do you wrong, you need to know how to file charges. There's no way around it. There's people right now I know. This happened to me 10, 15 years ago. Why didn't you file a claim? Why didn't you file a complaint? I did a police report. I told somebody. What the fuck is that supposed to do? A police report is just a report. It's just documenting the events that is taking place. It is your duty Your duty as the victim, as the one who has gotten injured, who received some type of damage from whatever, you need to file a claim, a complaint. You need to press some charges. You need to do something. If somebody hits you, you need to hit them back. That's part of the federal rules of procedure. So, in the federal rules of procedures, if somebody sues you, you need to have a countersuit, or you need to have up your own claim or complaint drawn up. So if they draw up a complaint against you and they get their own case number, you need to draw up a complaint and get your own case number, because you're going to have a hard time winning on the defense. If the defense can win, if the defense knows the rules of the game, the defense can win if you understand the federal rules, state rules. The defense can win if you bring to light how the plaintiffs, the state of whoever, has violated the rules and they can't proceed, because once again we're talking about due process. Did you guys follow the rules before you start bringing anything against me? 9 times out of 10 they didn't. A lot of times they don't follow the rules because they know that you're dumb and ignorant, and you're not even going to take 2 minutes just to read your rights. All it takes is just a few minutes to know your rights and to know, like, damn, if this is my right, they've been doing this to me, and I have allowed it. I have been allowing this to take place in my life. The, it's on you. What we saying in the chat? What's going on, Thunder? What's good? What's good, Thunder? Yeah. Well, that's what this is all about here. I'm on here telling y'all exactly what you need to do to you know what I'm saying, to give yourself some relief. Let's see here. I'm all about providing relief. Let's see here. What's up, chat? Talk to me. Ooh, 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 ooh. Let's talk about a little bit more a due process here. Let's get more into this here. Due process of law is your constitutional right to fair treatment through the normal judicial system. It ensures the government cannot take your life, liberty, or property without, and I mean without, you must be given notice in writing, right? You must have a real opportunity to be heard. We're talking about procedural due process right now. You must be given notice, written notice. You must have a real opportunity to be heard. Okay? You can present evidence, defend yourself, and appeal. The process must be neutral and unbiased. When I say due process, everything must be fair. When we talk about child support and they take you through this bullshit, it must be fair. Example, if a child support order is issued without you ever being served or given a court date, that's a violation of due process. One more time. If a child support order is issued without you ever being served or given a court date, that's a violation of due process. Motion to dismiss, motion to vacate is over. And if they don't want to respect your constitutional liberties down at the state level, then you can go ahead and file your issues, your complaint, your claim in federal court. So now we talking about a bigger bag if you're really trying to go for damages, because they have caused damages. They have caused damages for sure. hmm Fairness in the law, substantive due process. This protects you from unfair or unreasonable laws, even if procedures were followed. Ooh. Example, a law that forces you to pay support without proving paternity or giving you a hearing would be a substantive due process violation. Ooh, ooh, whiskey. Where it comes from? It comes from the Fifth Amendment, which is federal, constitutional. Constitution is federal. That's above. No person shall be deprived, what? Of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. 14th Amendment, which is state level, applies the same protections to actions taken by states and their courts or agencies. There are laws here that's been here longer than all of us that's been alive. They're here. The Constitution is a trust dynasty document. It's a trust document. It goes on forever. It's not going to end. It's not going to end. This is contract. Contract is law, right? Contract. That contract is a bond, right? So when these judges, prosecutors, for educational purposes only. So when these judges, prosecutors do something to you, remember they took an oath. They took an oath to uphold something. They took a couple oaths to uphold and to protect certain things. You need to make sure that that man is holding his word. Violate what? What? Your word is bond. Okay, your oath is bond. You break your word, then you break the oath. You break the contract. So if they break the contract, you ain't got no authority over me. It's over. You violated your own contract. You violated your own oath of office. You violated your own bond. Real world examples, yo. You must be properly served court documents. You must be properly served. Okay. You must get a fair hearing with the judge. You can't be thrown into jail or fined without a chance to defend yourself, or it is a violation of due process of law. You can't be forced into a legal order if you never agreed to jurisdiction. And then on top of that, they got to prove jurisdiction, especially if you raise it. Especially if you raise it. If due process is violated, if your due process of liberty is violated, this is what you can file: a motion to vacate judgment. Mhm. You can also file a motion to dismiss for lack of jurisdiction. You got two options. I'll be coming in as Sir Juris, but really it don't even really matter. You kind of do a little bit. It depends. Depends on your situation. Read the room. Understand what you're dealing with. Three, constitutional challenge, especially in child support, traffic court, or administrative hearings. All of this is administrative. If you didn't hurt anybody personally, what they're bringing against you is just really strictly administrative process. Everything's admin. They're administrating what? Estates. All right. Let's get into something else here. Uh, Tory. I want to get into something else. And I don't want to take too much time, but I want to take the right amount of time so y'all can understand what I'm saying here. Because there's really levels to this. I want to get into the lack of jurisdiction, which would be personal, territorial, and subject matter. Now, why are these important? How do they apply to you? I'm going to get into that. Um, let's see here. So let's talk about it here. What is jurisdiction? Jurisdiction is the court's power, its legal authority to hear a case, issue orders, and enforce judgments. Without jurisdiction, everything the court does is void. Not just wrong, void. Like it never legally existed. Type void. Okay? So let's get into personal jurisdiction. You as a personal jurisdiction, personal jurisdiction. Okay? This is about whether the court has authority over you personally. For a personal jurisdiction to be valid, you must be properly served, given notice. You got to be properly served, and they don't do this. A lot of times they don't do this, but let's keep it going. You must voluntarily appear in person or by filing a response. I'm gonna read that again. You must voluntarily appear in person or by filing a response. Three, or you must live or do business in that state. I just gave y'all I just gave y'all some hot keys to dismissing your case for educational purposes only. For entertainment and educational purposes only. I just gave you three keys to dismissing almost any case. Okay? I'm gonna say them again. You must be properly served. So think about it. Was you properly given notice? Two, you must voluntarily appear, meaning you must walk in there and give yourself up. I keep trying to tell y'all this is a voluntary program. Okay? This shit is voluntary. So if you voluntarily walk in there, you've given them jurisdiction. Three, or you must live or do business in that state. That's a trick question too. And this is how you get out of your this is how you maneuver. You can't live in the state. Once again, I need you to follow. I need y'all to follow what I'm saying here. Think about where you're at. This is one entire landmass. This is an entire landmass. States only exist on paper. States only exist because they got a paper and they created invisible borders. Think about what I'm saying here. Truly think about what I'm saying here, because this is how they get y'all in these civil and criminal cases. They're telling you you are in something. Think about what I'm saying here, because they know how stupid the population is. Think about what I'm saying. How can you live in something you're standing on? How can you live on something that you're standing on? Unless you go in the earth, unless you're going into something. They're telling you you're in the state of Michigan. This is a landmass. They're telling you you're in the state of Texas. How? I'm sta- I could be standing on what you call the state of Texas, Pennsylvania, whatever the city might be, state, whatever. I'm standing on it, but to be in it, I cannot physically be in it when I'm physically in my body. My spirit, my spirit lives in my body. I'm talking about some divine shit that the courts know. Because when you go into the courtroom, look at where you're going into. You're going to a whole different religion setting. He's the high priest, right? The robe, the black robe, he's the high priest. So what religion are you in? I'm talking about being in your right person, in your right mind, understanding what's going on. I'm really talking about territorial jurisdiction. I'm talking about personal matter jurisdiction. I'm gonna keep going here because I want you to really understand what I'm saying here. This is serious. This is serious because people volunteer and go to prison and jail every day and they don't realize what they're doing. Let's keep walking. We're still under personal jurisdiction. If you were never served properly and you didn't show up willingly, the court may not have personal jurisdiction over you. No jurisdiction equals no power equals void order. One more time. One more time. If you were never served properly and you didn't show up willingly, the court may not have personal jurisdiction over you. No jurisdiction equals no power. No power equals a void order. There's a case law for this. Pinori, excuse me if I'm butchering his name. Pinori versus Neff. This is 1878. This is an old case. This is an old United States case. Personal service is required. So this case was dismissed. They couldn't try this individual because they didn't give him proper notice. They didn't give him written service. hmm This is my favorite one. We were just talking about this here. Number two, territorial jurisdiction. Territorial jurisdiction references location and boundaries. Territorial. Okay? This is about where the case happened. A court can only hear cases that occur within its legal geographic boundaries. Pay attention. Example, a county court in Michigan can't try you for something that happened in Georgia. Okay? Two, a state court can't prosecute you for something outside of state lines unless there's a specific legal issue. Okay? If the court is operating outside its lawful territory, one more time. If the court is operating outside its lawful territory, it has no jurisdiction. It's like a cop trying to arrest you or arrest someone in another state. There's no power there. They don't have the jurisdiction. They can't come to your state. They don't have jurisdiction. That's on some federal stuff. You know what I'm saying? The federal can go to any state. You know what I'm saying? But on a state level, another state officer can't go cross the boundaries and go. You feel what I'm saying? Right. Cool. Number three, let's get into this. Subject matter jurisdiction. This is major, yo. Major. So hear me out. Subject matter jurisdiction means the court must be legally authorized to hear the case that is handling. So, example here. You got traffic court can't hear a murder case. One more time. Traffic court can't hear a murder case. Family court can't prosecute criminal charges. Administrative child support agencies can't act like courts unless you voluntarily consent. One more time. Administrative child support agencies cannot act like courts unless you voluntarily consent. Child support is a voluntary program, y'all. Child debt collection is a voluntary program. If you follow what I'm saying here, the courthouse is the only entity that will take your person, to satisfy a public debt. They are the only debt collectors that will take your body and hold you for a specific amount of time in order to satisfy a debt. So think about what I'm really saying here, because this is deep. Really think about what I'm saying here. Let's say you owe $10,000 in child support, or let's give it take whatever. Either you pay that amount, or you sit in jail for a given amount of time to satisfy the debt. I want y'all to think about that shit for a minute. How does that sound to you? How does that sound to you? What is that? What is that? You're being held for ransom. You're being held under a contract that you didn't even know that you was really under, because you don't understand contract. You don't really. You're being held because you don't understand your divine essence, that you are made in the image of your creator, and you have allowed man to what? To take your body to countless. It's the craziest thing. Is deep, but you got to understand this is very spiritual. This is very spiritual. I ain't gonna stay on the subject too long, but let's keep going though. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. I'm gonna say it one more time. Administrative child support agencies cannot act like courts unless you voluntarily consent. They need your consent. You need to volunteer to be in the program, and people do this every day. And here's an important case you need to learn: Burns versus Reed, 1991. Courts must have proper subject matter jurisdiction for any legal action. You have to speak up for yourself. You gotta lay it out there. You gotta lay it out. You gotta lay out the rules, because they like badass little kids. They like badass little kids. And you as a parent don't say nothing, they're gonna continue to run around and terrorize. You need to stand up and be an adult and lay down the rules because they know the rules. They're going to press you to see if you know them. And if you don't, then you're paying or staying. You're paying or you're staying. Click clack, going behind the bars. You're paying or staying. But either one of those, they're volunteer. So know who you are, know where you're at, know what you're dealing with. If the child support agency issued an order but never provided jurisdiction through evidence or consent, you can challenge that. It's void from the start. They're not gonna prove that shit. They're not gonna prove it. Here we go again. If the child support agency issued an order but never proved jurisdiction through evidence or consent, you can challenge that. It's void from the start. Boy, I'm giving y'all mad game. I'm giving y'all mad game here on this live, yo. Hit that like. Hit that like. Subscribe to this channel, yo. I'm giving y'all mad game right now. Mad gems to save your life, to save your relative's life, somebody you may know. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm providing relief. So listen to what I'm saying here. What happens if there's no jurisdiction? I already explained to you what happens, but let's go again. If any one of these three types of jurisdiction is missing, personal, territorial, or subject matter jurisdiction, the court has no legal authority. This means everything it did can be overturned, even years later. They must follow the rules. They must follow their rules, and they must not also violate you in the process. I'm gonna read it one more time. If any one of these three types of jurisdictions is missing, personal, territorial, or subject matter, the court has no legal authority. This means everything it did can be overturned even years later. You can file a motion to dismiss for lack of jurisdiction. You can also file a motion to vacate void judgment. Here's some case law you can use too. U.S. versus Cotton. 2002 case. A court without subject matter jurisdiction acts without authority. Ooh, ooh. Well, we got Ex parte Gamboni, 1897. A judgment without jurisdiction is void and can be attacked at any time. Ooh, what? A judgment without jurisdiction is void and can be attacked at any time? They gotta prove jurisdiction, yo. They gotta prove one of these. It don't matter which one you bring. It could be territorial, subject matter, personal. You bring one of these to light, it's over. You drop one of these motions in, it's done. They not got to come after you no more. Come on. So listen, jurisdiction is the most powerful weapon you got. If you never consented, never got proper notice, or if the court's pretending to have authority, they don't. You don't need to argue facts. You argue the law. The law is proof. No jurisdiction equals no case, yo. If you want, man, listen, listen, you got to understand something here, bro. Y'all, YouTube, jurisdiction is your best friend. Jurisdiction is your best friend. It's like the Holy Divine, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, the three. You put one of these in, yo, you're going to shake something up. You're going to shake something up. You're going to see your life change because when you take this shit serious, and proceed with a serious attitude and grit, you're gonna get the results you're looking for. If you want child support to go away, you must apply the law. You must apply the law. It's that simple. Nobody's gonna do it for you. Don't bother thinking about hiring an attorney because they would never do it. They could never do it. The bar administration put together the child support agency. They put it together so they can never get you off. So I just man, take your power back, yo. Stand on your square. And always challenge jurisdiction first. Challenge jurisdiction before they go anywhere. Challenge authority. If there's a prosecutor, you gotta think about this. A lot of times, the judge is there. The judge is there to be a referee. He know his job. He knows it very well. And if you forget, remind him. But your job is to focus on whoever brought the complaint to the courtroom. That's your target. That's your target. 9 times out of 10, it was a state attorney. That's your target. He's making a claim against you. Now he must prove authority. He must prove jurisdiction. I don't even go after the judges because a lot of times the judges and the prosecutor are not cool, y'all. Y'all gotta understand they're not cool all the time for educational purposes only, for entertainment only. They are not cool. They don't always see eye to eye. A lot of times they don't even know each other like that. So the field is equal. You as the civilian, as the consumer, as the living being must enforce your rights, liberties, or you have given them up for privileges. You have traded in your rights for slavery. You have traded in your liberty for imprisonment. You must know your rights. If you know your rights, you know your liberty, you will free yourself, you free your mind, you free your family, you free your friends. You have a better life. It's that simple. It's that simple, yo. So I don't know what else I can really touch on at this moment. Um, I think I kind of hit everything that I kind of wanted to hit. I think. Um, Let me see here. Let me see here. Let me see if I want to touch on anything else. Let's see if I want to touch on anything else before I get off this live. Mm, Let's see. I think I might end it there. I think I might end it there, bro. Yeah, I think I might end it here. I'll come back with some more gems for y'all. Um, I should put my website down there so y'all can go work on y'all credit. Gotta work on y'all credit, yo. Good credit helps you get the bag, yo. Helps you get the bag. That's the whole idea of having good credit is to pull down funding for your life. To pull down funding for your life. And if you need to PG, personal guarantee for your business, then that's what it's there for. A lot of people don't know what credit is for. You're supposed to use it to pull down money. Period. Supposed to use it to pull down funds. That's what credit is for. If you understand credit, it will change your life. Change my life. And life is only getting better, yo. Life is only getting better. So this video was made for educational purposes only, for your entertainment. Um I do not offer legal advice, but I'm showing y'all some real ass shit. Telling y'all some real ass shit. So what is it, about 9 a.m. right now. I'm about to get it in gear. I'm about to get it in gear. I got some business to handle today. Yeah, I got some business to handle. Um, I might have a client as well. I might have a client as well. So I'm gonna be back on here often, dropping gems for y'all to help my people out. I apologize about the signal. Um, but I really appreciate y'all tapping in. Like, subscribe, hit that notification button. You will know when I come on. Um, yeah, I appreciate y'all tapping in. What up, Twitch? What up, chat? What up, YouTube fam? I appreciate y'all tapping in with your boy Rich Mill 33. You already know. Man, y'all have a beautiful day. I'll be back on later. I'll be back on later. So y'all have a beautiful day. Stay safe out there. Don't allow nobody to throw you off your pivot. Stay on your grind. Keep your goals. Keep your goals in front of you. You got this. You got this. You believe in you. I believe in you. So if you're on this channel, you're seeing this, you're seeing it for a reason. You're here. You are here for a reason. I appreciate you. Thank you. I love you all. Be safe out there. Your boy be on later on. Yeah, for sure. Peace, y'all. Peace.